This is part 3 of making a trap beat for people who have never ever made beats here in FL Studio. Whenever you bring in an instrument to your channel rack, you want to assign them to their own channel in the mixer rack. Here's the mixer rack icon, brings up this window. As you can see as I scroll, you're putting it to each channel. And then once you have done that, and in the previous video you have put everything here in playlist arrangement, each pattern is on its own track. You want to right click on your track, go down to track mode, audio track, and then insert to whatever channel that you had placed that pattern on. In this instance, I just kept everything in a row. Everything that I have in track 1, I will just put it into insert 1. I like to name it whatever it is that you're using, whether it is keys, or you can name it the name of the instrument that you're using. Right click, hit name, you write keys. I like to change the color. You don't have to change the color. Some people find it extremely annoying. When you go to your mixer rack, now it will be also in that color. Once you have given every track a name and then assign them to the mixer, your mixer will now look like this. And it will be much easier to be able to know what it is you're looking at when you're playing. That way you're not trying to guess, oh, is this the kick or is this the keys or whatever. This makes life a lot easier when you get to the mixing and mastering stages. Next, you grab the select icon and you're gonna want to select all of your patterns that you have created, and then you just hit copy, Control C. Then you want to grab your draw icon, and then from there you place your marker after your loops and you just hit Control V, and it will paste everything that you highlighted. Typically what I will do is I will do that all the way up until like maybe a minute into the song. I'll just do that, and then from there I'll start seeing what I want to take out, where I want to make change ups, and kind of build from there, unless you already have an idea of what it is you want to do. If you don't have an idea, this is the method that I usually go with. Now that you have copied and pasted a bunch of patterns in there, then you can start taking away. You can bring your marker back to the beginning of the song and start just pulling things out. You can either pull out the melody or pull out your drums. Typically I pull out drums, but you can do whatever it is you want to do. And I like to do like an 8 count, which an 8 count will be 2 of these bars. Now that was, I did nothing, it just came into the beat, but you always want to do something interesting, whether it is bring the beat in before the actual drop, or what you can do is just pull all of your melody and everything out, make it completely silent, and then come in with everything. Now here are some of those examples. Over, instead of creating a new pattern, you can just crop it, do it this way, or you can create a new pattern and put a roll, like a snare roll, or do whatever you want. But here's one method that I like to do, is that I'll have everything come in right on the last beat. Let's take a listen. Then here's an example of just making everything just kind of drop out. Create your loop, go back, right click, create an automation clip. Your automation clip is just within your loop. And then from there, with all 3 of these instruments, you just repeat the same method. You want to make sure you have the draw icon pulled up, and just right click and just drop. But remember, you want your volume to come back up. So I will place another one of these, and all you have to do is just make sure that it comes back up, and after that point you'll never have to worry about it again. Now that I have my cuts placed exactly where they're supposed to be, here we go. Sounds so much better with the drums in there. Or you can just not put the hi-hats in. Sometimes what I like to do is not bring the hi-hats in until the first snare or clap. Now that I created that drop in that intro, you can do similar things like that throughout the track. After say an 8 count, you can make a change up. But you don't want to be doing the same thing all of the time. You want to add different variations. And then after you do a drop like that, you want to pull something out. Like say you pull the hi-hats out, or you pull the melody out, or just pull the bass out, you know, whatever. Or you pull out a number of things. Say what we have going on here is the hook. You create a drop, and then you come in with less instruments for the verse. And here's an example of that. We got the hook that I created right here. Then it comes right in to the verse where I take out the piano and the bouncer bass, which I've actually brought in another bass because I really wasn't liking the bouncer bass all on its own when I started taking stuff out and just having the bouncer bass in there. I did not like it. But when I brought in a new bass, I was like, it's kind of blasé. So I brought in the bouncer bass again because I did like it, but I just thought it needed more low end. So I combined the two basses, and now I have something that's sound a little cooler. And here's the idea of the drop. So here's that hook. The verse, I had the little drop, had another little drop, but I don't do that after every 8. So now I just drop out the bass, come back in with the hi-hats, then bring the piano out, take out the bass. And I may not leave it like this, but as I was playing with this, I was like, hey, this is kind of blasé. Still needs something to just give it a little more oomph. So I went through and came up with some more instruments that I wanted to put in there. I put in a backbone riser. It's another third-party plugin called Backbone. And then I brought in this brass. And this is what I did. And let's start off from right in the beginning. Right into the verse. And then I also brought in these shakers. Taking instruments in and out like I was doing before, but now it's just not so blasé because I've got more percussion going on, and I have those brass ensemble going. And here's a little breakdown before the hook. That makes the hook bigger right here. But as you see, I took out a lot right before the hook, and then coming in with tons of instruments just makes the drop into the hook just more dramatic and more in your face. And so that's what they mean by less is more, because taking out so much out of here made this so much better. Just little tricks like that to really give your song that life that it needs. Otherwise, it just sounds like another blasé track. Don't be afraid to pull things out if you're not feeling it and replace it with another sound. Be as creative as you possibly can.
Play music!